Morning conversation. Now, there's some big lessons we learned at the beginning of the year. Lost a lot of good peeps, and sincere condolences to everyone who lost a loved one so early in the year. It's not a good way to begin the year, but then such is life, and you cannot question his will because it must be done. The one thing that just caught everyone's attention and the huge debate on social media, we need to discuss this. It was the interment of Charles Njonjo and also Bishop Desmond Tutu. And the crazy thing here is it time for us to change? Is it time for us to move away from how we traditionally say goodbye to our loved ones? Imagine we must start thinking about these things. I mean, Sir Charles passed away at 5 in the morning. By 10:30, he had been cremated. Done. It's over. I don't think his family spent more than 50 G's. In total. There was a huge debate online. Desmond Tutu was aquamated. I had never even heard of that term before he passed away. Aquamation. This is what it's described as: a gentle process that uses water instead of fire to return a body back to Mother Nature. Young guy, is it time for us to change? I was seeing it in the news a couple of days ago. Kenyans have been asked to embrace cremation because our cemeteries are absolutely chock-a-block, full to the brim. I'm in groups where we are raising money to bury people. Is it time for us to change? Is it time for us to rethink this entire thing? And I want us to have an honest conversation. Because we spend hundreds of thousands of shillings. Does that make sense anymore? I need to know what you have to say about that. Sir Charles passed away at 5 in the morning. By 10:45, he had been cremated and he was over. Maximum spend 50 G's. Is it time for us to start thinking about this? Why don't you give me a call on 0711 046 105 and I want us to have an honest conversation on your thoughts. Is it disrespectful to either bury very soon, not spend on getting family and friends together? Is it insensitive to cremate so quickly, even just to cremate, period? Will you be aquamated? I'd never heard of that term. But give me a call on 0711 046 105. Hit me up on Twitter at It's Minor Kageni Classic 105 Kenya. Don't forget the hashtag is Minor and King Angio. Let's hook up on Facebook because it's a conversation we need to have. Our cemeteries are absolutely chock-a-block. Cannot bury people in some properties nowadays. They've become very commercial properties. Can't go burying someone in Lavington or Buruburu. So now what happens? What do you think of the way Sir Charles was sent off? Is that the way to go? 0711 046 105 is my number. It's a conversation we cannot ignore. It's one we must have. What are your 2 cents? I'd love to hear from you. Talked about cremation here. Sir Charles passed away at 5 in the morning. By 10 o'clock, he had been cremated. And a lot of people had a cow and a chicken. They went crazy saying, what do you mean? Hatuchinji? We are not meeting? We are not saying goodbye in an African way? Is it time for us to think about the way we dispose of our loved ones? Does it matter? Kiongozi, you're saying, what would change if someone was buried or cremated or aquamated a minute or after 1 year? We need to move away from these archaic traditions. You die now, bury in a few hours, and mourn later. We see it with Muslims. You die in the morning, by afternoon you've been buried. These fundraisers, wouldn't that money better suit those who are left behind? That's a question I always ask people. But they're saying our tradition is our tradition. What do you want to happen to you when you go? Kevo Muge saying aquamation and cremation are the way to go because of dwindling land. And it's also environmentally friendly and saves trees, and also cost-wise, it saves the family. Personally, I'm for cremation. No need to burden my kin with huge funeral bills. What do you want to happen to you when you go? Isaac Budusi, do you know when you bury the body of your loved one at a cemetery, immediately you're done? The body is later exhumed and cremated at night. What do you mean? What do you mean? Me used to think that after a few years they bury people on top of others. But then we don't have any land. The other day we saw in the papers, we're being told embrace cremation. It's the way to go. Hakuna ardhi. Kipurgut Arap Masai Gut, good morning, saying a budget of 500k for my burial, yet I lived a deplorable life, is just useless. We need to change. Koiko Inangi, a very good morning to you. I got your messages. This is just crazy. It's Kenyans online. Ooh, there was someone who was describing what happened to Desmond Tutu. We said Archbishop Tutu was aquamated, not cremated. Aquamation is a chemical hydrolysis process in which a body, human or pet, is boiled in a pressurized vessel at 160 degrees Celsius in potassium hydroxide for 4 to 6 hours. The result is complete liquefaction. Kenyans, let's do this. Then someone replied saying, in short, alifanywa tumbukiza. Akiwa Kenya. But let me ask you, is it time for us to start thinking about these things? Because 800 G's to bury someone today, really? Hello?
Maina.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Welcome back, man.
Asante sana. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So while you are away, watu walisema Maina amekuwa deported. Nikasema shenzi sana, Maina awe deported sangapi.
Yes.
While you are away too, Maina.
Yes.
Wanawake walilia. Wangu wananipigia simu, Maina wetu. Ikauliza kwani Maina peke yake ndio mwanaume Kenya? Wakasema hiyo ndio kiboko yao. Sasa nikashangaa, hii Maina kwani ndiye anafungua njia ya mbinguni? Welcome back, my brother, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Bob.
Classic FM, sasa imerudi.
Asante sana. How are you?
I'm fine, my brother. Sasa kurudi kwetu kwa upande wa Njonjo.
Yes.
Mimi na support 100%.
Yes.
Nina relate na mambo ya Waislamu.
Yeah.
Waislamu mtu anakufa morning.
Yeah.
Saa 6 amezikwa.
Yes.
But this problem iko kwetu wa Kristo. Ndio tuko na mambo mengi sana, traditions, I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
Uchange kule Garden Square, unawekwa groups mingi.
Aki.
Hata Yesu alipokufa, Yesu Kristo wa Nazareth.
Yes.
Alikufa saa 6, kazikwa saa 9.
Yes.
I'm telling you that's what happened. Lakini sasa hii Yesu ilikuja baadaye.
Yeah.
People go kama flagging, wanabadilika, wanaenda hivi.
Yeah.
Mimi na support mambo ya asa Charles Njonjo kuwa cremated.
Yes.
Na mimi mwenyewe ningependa nifanyiwe hivyo mimi Bob.
Yes.
Na nizikwe kule juu ya mlima vile Liki alizikwa juu ya mlima.
Yes.
Hakuna haja kupelekwa kule kwetu Kisii, unazikwa pale karibu na mlango, watu wakiamka asubuhi ni kaburi wanapata. That is bullshit, man. Allah. Change sana. In whose hands are you safe, Maina? In whose hands are you safe, my brother? In whose hands? Hallelujah.
Amen.
Good day, my brother.
Thank you very much, Bob. Asante sana.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what do you think? What do you make of it? That's my question this morning. Does it make sense? And Bob talked about Kisii. Kisii is a very small area. Population density is very high. Why are you burying someone on land that is so valuable? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. Is this a conversation you're willing to have? Let's talk, huh? Sir Charles, so he passed away at 5 a.m. By 10, he'd been cremated. And everyone went absolutely bonkers, having a cow and a chicken. Kevin Munga is saying, personally, I want to be cremated. I've seen funeral bills leave families broke and struggling, and that's the last thing I would want for my kin. Let them cremate me first, then mourn later. Burials are expensive. What do you want to happen to you when you go? Monique Kims, good morning, saying I fully support cremation. There's no need to keep a body for too long. In fact, the Muslims do it so well. Keeping the dead for long can never bring them back to life. Plus mortuary bills, it's crazy. Do you know in West Africa, you can stay in the mortuary for 7 months before you're buried, as people get ready for your funeral? Me, I don't know what's wrong with those people. That's the question I'm asking this morning. Is it time for us to rethink the way we dispose of our loved ones? Calvin Queens, you're saying, I fully support cremation, actually immediately. And I really envy the Muslims because they got it right. They absolutely got it right. Anjenga, good morning. You said Nisi Chomwi. Afadhali fridge. Juventus Sunyisi, a very good morning to you, Palace Scott. I hope you're well and Happy New Year. So what do you want to happen to you when you go? Hello.
Good morning, Maina.
Good morning to you.
Happy New Year to you too and welcome back.
Asante sana.
How is it going?
Yeah, I'm very okay. How are you?
I'm doing well too, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Whereas I don't disagree with cremation,
Uh-huh.
what was the hurry in cremating Mr. Njonjo? He's not a Muslim, first of all.
He's not a Muslim, but what is wrong with cremating him hours after he dies?
He's a great son of the soil. Why would you give him a befitting send-off? Holding a mass where we have people to come, that the president and everyone who knew him, his relatives, people who loved him, just to come and say a word or two.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yes, Maina.
What would you like to happen when you go?
When I go, I would want to be cremated, first of all.
You would not want to be cremated?
I would want to be cremated. It is an African, first of all. And over the years we have been buried. We still live in the farms where our great-grandfathers used to live. We still farm those farms. And we have never met their bones.
So you do not want to be cremated?
I wouldn't want to be cremated.
You want to be buried?
I want to be buried in a befitting send-off. Give my family time to mourn. And let me tell you something. Giving people time to mourn heals.
But mourning can happen after you're disposed of.
It doesn't work like that, my brother. We are African, and I should say Africa is our business.
Hey, okay.
Sisi sio Wahindi, na sisi sio Waislamu.
Okay. Asante sana, my God. Hello.
Good morning, Maina.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Asante sana. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to my brother.
Yes, sir.
Sasa, mimi hata nataka ile pesa yenye mngenichangia matanga yangu. Mnipatie pesa nitumie, halafu nikikufa mnitupe hata kama ni kwa mtaro.
Tukupatie pesa ukule saa hii.
Mnipatie pesa yenye mngenichangia nitumie saa hizi. In fact, I'll do something constructive.
Alafu ukikufa tukutupe kwa mtaro.
Hata mkitaka kunitupa kwa mtaro mimi sina shida.
That is a very good question.
I don't see the essence of ati tunaenda matanga from Monday to Monday.
Yes.
Tunatumia pesa on daily basis.
Yeah.
Siku ya matanga tunanunua coffin ya 60,000.
Yes.
Hiyo pesa kama mngenipatia kitambo manze, I would have done something constructive. Hata ningeinua biashara yangu
yenyewe.
Niache hiyo biashara wakati nimekufa, nimeachia watoto wangu wako na biashara nzuri.
Amen.
Sasa I don't see the essence. Mimi nipatieni hiyo. By the way, mimi tengenezeni WhatsApp group nipatie hiyo pesa haraka.
Okay.
George Best hapa 1GB.
Asante sana George. Okay, asante sana. He's got a point. And by the way, there's one thing I don't get. The eating at funerals. How do you even have an appetite? How do you even have how do you even think of food? We don't know. There are a lot of things we need to ask ourselves, because they truly are archaic if we think about it. It's madness. Chinja ng'ombe ya nini? Seriously? What would you like to happen when you go? That's the question I want to ask you. When you go, what do you want to happen? Let's talk, huh? When you go, what do you want to happen? The drama that followed Charles and John Joe's cremation was just incredible. People could not believe all that money na hatukukula. Guy. You know, we had a note of the population increase is just crazy. We can't keep burying our dead. Imagine we can't. It's a conversation we need to have. As painful as it may be, we need to have it. Hello.
Good morning, Maina.
Good morning to you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and welcome.
Asante sana.
Kwanza unajua Maina, wakati nilisikia unaenda karibu nimefuta hewa kwa. Karibu.
Asante.
Sasa Maina.
Let
me ask you a question.
Please do.
Mtu akikufa hakuna maana gani tena?
Hana maana.
Azikwe, achomwe, achemushwe, ni mufu.
Ni mufu.
Mimi kama mnataka kunisaidia, saa hii, chukua hiyo gari yako kwanza unitembeze. Usikuja kuenda misafara nikiwa nimekufa. In fact, I told my father, when I die, ichomwe.
Yes.
My father karibu awe wazimu. Na nikamwambia unajua mufu lazima aheshimiwe. Hata nikisema nizikwe State House. Hata kama ni kwa ukuta. Lazima maiti iheshimiwe. Will. Yenyewe. From there, sababu hii pesa tunatumia Maina. Hiyo pesa mnatumia kunipeleka sijui kwetu.
Yes.
Watoto wangu wasomee kama wajasoma.
Amen.
Miradi fulani ifanywe, wale wenye hawana wapewe.
Amen.
Lakini kuniambia muende kununua coffin ya 3 million, 60 million. Na sioni. Na sitawashukuru.
Amen.
Hiyo ni upusi.
Kabisa.
Afadhali hiyo pesa ninunulia machokora chakula na wale wenye hawana.
Yenyewe.
Na watoto walipiwe school fees wenye hawana.
Amen.
Yes.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Maina.
Have a great day,
You too.
Asante sana. Hello, Classic 105.
Good morning, Maina.
Good morning.
Hivi nataka kuchangia hiyo maneno. So Maina, mimi nikienda, wakitaka kunitupa kwa msitu, wakitaka kunitupa kwa mto, shauri yao. And Maina, those who are saying that the cremation is not African, even burial,
yes,
it's not African.
By the way,
long time ago, watu walikuwa wanakufa wanatupa kwa pisi.
Amen. That's true.
Hakuna haja Maina, watu wanakutana wiki mbili, wanakula pesa, wanatumia pesa. Hiyo pesa wanafaa kuachia familia.
That's true.
And in fact, someone should be exposed immediately. Mtu achomwe mara hiyo ama asukwe na huko.
That's true.
Maina.
Asante sana. That is so true. Ages ago, by the way, not too far ago, in the 30s, 20s, we never used to bury our dead. We used to throw them in the forest. In the 1900s, not 1800s, 1900s. Have the final word. When you go, what do you want to happen to your remains?